Welcome to the Greasy Fork by Patrinomicon Productions. My name is Patrick. Today we are doing a barbecue bacon cheeseburger meatloaf. Okay, so the first part of this is getting our meatloaf together. We have a pound of ground beef and a pound of ground pork sausage. So we're going to start out with about 3/4 cup Parmesan cheese, onion soup mix, one egg, half cup of barbecue sauce, and my hands are clean. If there's ever any question by anyone, I do wash my hands quite often when I'm doing this. I just don't put it on camera, otherwise the show would be like an hour long. Our gravy seasoning, which this is basically the same thing as Kitchen Bouquet, but it's a store brand. They never seem to have Kitchen Bouquet in the store I shop in. We're going to go with right at about 2 tablespoons of the gravy seasoning, 2 tablespoons of garlic, 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. Alright, so we are just going to hand mix this together. Now, okay, so this recipe uses like 4 packs of bacon. In order to get this wrapped correctly, you have to use a lot of bacon. 1 to 2 slices for each, but I'm basically just going to create a layer like this. Okay? Half of our meatloaf mix. We are going to put that in the middle here, and we are just going to kind of press it out a little bit. Okay. Now, take your fingers and you're going to kind of poke holes here. This is because there's going to be cheese and barbecue sauce here in the middle, and you want it to have a place to go. Okay, so we've got 8 ounces of the Mexican style blend natural cheese, shredded cheese. And we're going to pour all of that. And we're just going to kind of spread it out. Try to keep it on the meatloaf though. Some of our barbecue sauce. Now you can use pretty much any barbecue sauce that you like. It does not matter. Basically just kind of do sort of a spiral here, sort of a messy spiral. Second half of our meatloaf, kind of roll it into a ball there. And we are going to place that right in the middle, and we're just going to kind of place it. Okay, and this does not have to be perfect. This is not going to be a perfectly shaped loaf pan meatloaf. Alright, so now we're going to take and fold our bacon over. Use the rest of it up. I'm just going to kind of lay these pieces across. You can do this however you want. If you have bacon left over like I've got here, and you want to save it for something else, go for it. But I like bacon, so we're going to do bacon. Alright. Now, so as to make sure this does not stick to the top and burn, now we're going to press it down further into our fryer basket. We're going to take and just kind of wipe this down a little bit because there's going to be grease around the edges here and a little bit on the front of the fryer from the bacon touching it. Not a big deal. Just wipe this down a little bit, and then once we're done cooking, I'll clean it thoroughly. We're preheating our air fryer on bake at 375 for 30 minutes. Okay, let's start it. Alright, so 30 minutes, and you can see the bacon on top is starting to get crispy. We're going to grab the basket out of here, shake it a little bit. We're going to set it over here on a plate. We are going to pull this inner pan out. You can see all that fat right there, and we're going to pour the fat out. Okay, so the reason we're doing that because this cooks, more fat is going to pour, and you don't want it touching the bottom of the meatloaf. I'm going to cover the top generously with barbecue sauce. Alright, just going to spread this around, close this puppy back up, and we're going to cook it for another 30 minutes. Alright, so there's going to be a little bit of charring on top. That is okay, it's not going to hurt anything. Just going to kind of press this a little bit, about another 15 minutes. Alright, we're going to let this sit for about 15 minutes and just rest. If we try to take it out now, it's liable to fall apart. Alright, so it's been about 15 minutes. Now there may be a little charring here on top, but that is okay. It's not going to hurt a thing. Now this, the trick here is getting underneath it without tearing it apart. Harder than it looks. Okay. Nice and easy, over onto our plate. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. We're going to let this rest for another 15 minutes before we cut it. So while we were waiting the additional 15 minutes for that to cool, I went ahead and peeled the charred bacon off the top. Now it's actually really good. I ate it and shared some of it with the dog. But that charred bacon would be extremely difficult to cut through. Now, this is going to be a little messy. That's alright. So we're going to cut right through the middle. And come over around an inch or so. Get some nice thick slab. This should lift right up and out. Some of the meat. Let's see how we did here. Excellent. It's a completely different take on meatloaf. Really good. It's definitely one for the books. Okay, thank you everybody for joining me today on the Greasy Fork by Patrinomicon Productions. Next week, it's going to be crock pot spaghetti sauce. Have a great day. We're preceding,